campout has amazing experiences up here in the Cascades. So I don't know if it's in a lot of ways. I think I attribute that to the same thing. The same people going out all the time. The the beings actually have more familiarity and just want to come in a little bit closer to get to know us. So, and it does happen. I mean, multiple witnesses of different things. And this is just not the Bigfoot sightings. We have those too, but it's more of the over-the-top stuff that's happening more often. You know, the lights, even portals opening up in people's tents.
In the tents?
In the tent. Wow. And actually, like, imagine a window opening up and you're seeing a scene from something else, somewhere else, for a few seconds and then closing back up again.
That would be scary because what happens if you rolled into it in your sleeping bag? Accidentally.
Right. Hopefully it's a small window and you're not going to likely jump into it.
Yeah, you know, or you lose your foot.
Do you suppose that may be the explanation for a lot of people missing in the national forest or out in the woods?
Absolutely. There are thinning veils of where these portals are very, I call them like thin, whereas it's thick in certain places, the veil between a dimension, for instance, but you get in some places extremely thin. It doesn't take much for something to open up from one side to the other. And a lot of these exist in the remote national forest up here. And what's so funny is the one place, it's the same person had the same experience more than once because she actually had the tent in the same place in two different campouts. So we know where that spot is. I'm going to do some research on doing. I have some other equipment. I'm going to be testing for certain things in that spot. It seems to also be dependent on if it's at a certain time of the day. So I'm going to apply a little technical expertise, see if I can derive any reasonable explanation or try to see if there's anomalous readings, electromagnetically.
Yeah, because that should pop up.
Oh yeah, definitely. I have meters for that.
Yeah.
What do you think's what do you think's causing these portals to open, Sam?
Maybe they're always been there, and it's just people camping more often. I have noticed the time things have just been increasing. So I don't know if the time frames we're living in right now is we're moving into a time period where dimensions are merging. You have more instances of paranormal activity reported all around the country, more frequency of it, more people experiencing it. It is all connected.
Well, do you think it could have anything to do with our Earth's magnetic field moving drastically and changing everything?
Well, things are changing. I actually heard you guys talking a little bit earlier. We have a North Pole that's just magnetic North Pole that's moving all over the place.
Oh yeah.
We're talking about the shift.
Yeah, it's going fast now. Before it's like moving a quarter inch a year. Now it's going more than.
And then we have an instance of the sunspot cycles not doing their 11-year thing like they used to. I'm a ham operator, and we depended on every 11 years to have a high sunspot activity so that we could talk
around the
longer
world?
Distance due to skip.
Yeah.
Ionosphere skip. But we've had low magnetic activity with the sun for a long time.
Well, I'm sitting here with a new piece of radio equipment. And, like I told you, I haven't been on the amateur band for years. I'm going to take my test next week so I can get my license again. But I've been sitting on 10 meters and some of the other bands, and you don't hear anything. Yeah, and then you figure, okay, well, I'm not hearing anything on the amateur bands. You turn the CB on. And, maybe for like a half an hour a day, you might get a little bit of, garbage coming in from wherever, but it's not like it used to be. And the cycle has changed, and that is really scaring me. I got to ask you a question here. What do you think that us spending all this money on the wall, don't you think we should be putting the money into a grid system to make it, in case we get a kill shot from the sun, that our grid system doesn't go down? And then we should, be more worried about asteroids and try to work a way to deflect them or something. I'd rather see our money being spent that way.
All these decisions are politically driven, politically motivated, one way or the other. They're not. These are decisions that our country are making, not on the level of importance to our survival, but they usually have a political agenda associated with them. And you're right. It should be spent on the grid. I mean, we've talked about this. Been talked about. They'll bring it. We've actually had. I remember the reports being brought before Congress and says, if you don't take care of this, our grid's going down. If our grid goes down, what's going to cool the nuclear reactors?
Right.
There's only so much diesel to run the engine. They have to be cooled. Even if they're putting into a stasis point where they're, they even if they're shut down properly, they still have to be cooled, and they require electricity to do that. We have over 130 of those nuclear reactors in this country, I believe.
A lot of meltdowns, I can tell you that much.
Well, you've seen what one does. I mean, look at the damage Fukushima's caused to the Pacific Ocean.
Well, it's going to get worse because you know what? They have no place to put that contaminated water now, and the government is given the okay. And it's just a matter of time when they're going to just dump it out in the ocean, and then that's going to really get scary.
Chernobyl is still causing issues. Chernobyl and Fukushima are the gift that keeps on giving.
Yeah, well, it is. And that's, you're talking about there, they covered it with tons and tons and tons of cement. Well, that cement's all breaking up, and the radiation's now starting to leak out again. What are they going to do to fix that? Could you imagine if the grid system goes down, all these power plants are going to go down. Most of them have enough power, diesel, for about 7 days. If the grid system goes down because we get hit with a flare, like I was saying earlier, trucks, cars, and all that stuff aren't going to run unless you got a real old one. How are they going to get diesel?
The tankers that carry the diesel, you might have the refineries will go down. The trucks can't get across the highways. If they get hit with electromagnetic pulse, for instance, and they get fried, the transformers get fried. That's the whole point. If they get fried, they don't have replacements for these transformers. It'll take them at least 2 years to create the replacements. And if it happens worldwide, which it probably wouldn't, it'd be one section, but the United States gets hit with that, it could be disastrous for the whole world anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah, because then how are you going to get those transformers transported to where you need them also, if it's, more of the country, like worldwide?
Well, yeah, if it's worldwide, the ships aren't going to be able to run because they're all electronics.
No.
So we're going to be in deep old, kimchi, I can tell you that. Now, we got about 5 minutes more with you, Sam, and then I got to do some commercials, and then James has to drop off. How can people find your streaming for your radio station?
All I have to do is I'm under the greenwaterradio.com.
So greenwaterradio.com.
Greenwaterradio.com.
And they can just click on that and get on it.
Yep, and it's just click on the link to the website's still a work in progress as well as everything else. But we're working to make this better here. So it's a community-oriented radio system, but it is going to be expanded out if anybody wants to go online to hear it streaming, because we're going to be doing our own shows as well here locally, and I have one coming up, too, that's in development that is along the same lines as yours.
Interesting.
So,
and what is it called, by the way?
Oh, it's basically right now, unless I find someone else is using it, it'll be Greenwater After Dark. And it'll be a 2-hour show that's either going to be on Friday nights from 9 to 11 or on Saturdays. And it's going to be along the same lines of my perspective on all the stuff that's happening here in the Cascades, and then with some intriguing guests that actually are having direct experiences, much like I have.
It sounds very interesting, Sam.
Yep.
Okay, Sam, I'm going to cut you loose. I want to thank you again. Again, give the email again, not email, but the address to your station one last time before I pull the plug on you.
Okay. It's greenwaterradio.com. And there are 2 R's between the green water and the radio. So it's greenwaterradio.com. Check it out.
Okay, my friend. You have a great one.
See you, Sam.
We'll talk to you again.
Okay, you
James,
take care.
All right.
Yep.
Good night. So, okay. Well, he's got his hands full of, starting the station and streaming and all that stuff. So I don't know. Boy, this hour is just kind of going fast. You know that, James?
Yeah, I know. I know. And, you mentioned about he's got a lot to do. Look at all the blood, sweat, and tears you put into this in the last 2 years.
Oh, yeah. And it doesn't seem to quit, does it?
He's still bleeding.
Yeah,
God bless you.
I mean, I will say this, guys. I have been to a point where I'm disabled. I've never been disabled in my life. And, I have not been able to walk for the last going on 3 months. And I'm just now getting to the point where I can actually stand up with a walker and move a couple feet. So I'm hoping here shortly I'll be able to walk around again. I'm doing everything I can, but I felt a lot better today. Cycle, in my head, the psychic, being able to, do what I did today. I couldn't resist going into the studio and unpacking one of these boxes, pulling something out of my server case and adding this in there. I just couldn't resist. I wanted, for all these months not being able to work on anything, I just wanted to see if it made a difference with my sound.
And it did. You do sound different. And you know what? I am so happy for you. Keep up the good work. Just don't overdo it. Don't push yourself too far. You'll know when the right time is, and you're making huge progress. God bless you.
Yeah, of course. If my wife would have done something like made bacon, and put it on like a fishing pole and taped it to the walker, right, with a piece of bacon hanging down from it, I probably would have been walking a long time ago trying to get that piece of bacon.
Oh, that's hilarious. I can just picture that in my head, too. I can hear your walker squeaking across the floor as you inch closer to the bacon.
I'm trying to figure out how old people like me walk with a walker. I'll tell you one thing. God, they're the clumbersome as they can be.
Oh, my goodness.
It's not like driving a Porsche, I can tell you that much.
It takes a little bit of athletic skill to drive one, It takes practice. You'll get it.
Well, the last fall I had was on this stupid walker. That's the one where my knee went at a 45-degree angle, and I heard that big, loud pop. And and it's because the walker caught the carpet, and I came to a sudden stop, and I wasn't prepared to come to that stop, and I just flipped over, and I tell you. I'm very leery using a walker, so I want to get off this walker as fast as I can and get back to the cane.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing about it, you've been working out and you've lost some weight, so these are all pluses that will help you achieve this goal of eliminating the walker eventually.
Some weight. Before this happened, I was sitting at, I'm going to admit this, okay? I was up to 350 pounds. I'm down to right now maybe 248 to 250 pounds. So in a course of under 3 months, I've lost about 100 pounds. And I'll tell you, I'm wearing my long johns because I can't get out to the stores yet. But on the day I tried to put my jeans on, and I swear to God, I looked at it and I go, wow, I could go rob a Kmart store and walk out with a colored TV somewhere because that's how baggy they were.
I commend you. You've lost a lot of weight. I know that you've lost it in probably a way you didn't want to lose it, but you've lost it and you've been working out, so you're in a lot better shape physically now, and I think mentally too. So those two together, man, I commend you. God bless you.
Yeah, and guess what? I don't have the appetite I used to have. So now when my wife prepares my food and, I go to eat, I'm eating probably less than anybody in this household. I eat, a fraction of what I used to. And you know what? After I eat it, I feel sick because I feel like I ate too much.
Yeah, your stomach has probably shrunk. And plus, you're not used to eating all those chemicals they put in the food. So if you eat some of those, it kind of make you feel kind of sick.
Oh, yeah. Hey, James, I got to let you go. I got commercial. So, hey, work on some stuff to talk about tomorrow, the first hour.
All right. Talk to you tomorrow. Bye-bye.
Okay, you take care, my friend.